I'm here to bring you some DIY decor today. Today we're going to be focusing on DIY decor that's kind of modern boho themed. So I really wanted to play with this idea when we were making over my daughter's room. I love the way it turned out, so come back next week to see that reveal. But in the meantime, let's get into the video. Alright, so for this next craft we are going to be starting off with small wooden dowels or skewers. You can get these at the Dollar Tree or at your local craft store. Start by laying your dowels out into the shape of a triangle. Adjust accordingly so that each of your ends meet. Once you've accomplished this, take your glue gun and start gluing each of the points of the triangle together. Repeat this for every side. You may also need to touch up previous points. Next, grab your greenery of choice to feature on the triangle. I got this greenery from Michael's, and it was actually left over from a previous project. Take your glue gun and apply the glue to the greenery. Then place it down flat on the triangle. Use as much glue as you need in order to secure it in place. Next, you will want to tie the string to the top of the triangle. I tied the ends together and then tied it around the triangle. After that, I used the glue gun so that it would stay in place. And here's the final result. This next craft has a lot of steps and takes a lot of time to make, but it was well worth it in my opinion. For this craft, you'll need some jewelry chain. I got this at my local craft store, but you can also use the chain from the plant hanger at the Dollar Tree to save some money. You'll also need some jump rings, which I found at Michael's. These wooden DIY stickers from Dollar Tree. And an old necklace that is broken or that you don't use anymore. Start by taking the chain apart and open the end links. Once they are open, attach those links to the other chain in order to make one long chain. Next, select 4 of the half circle stickers and 3 of the full circles. Start by picking up one of the half circles and start cutting into it. I started cutting in at an angle and went back and forth on each side. Then I cut a straight line in between those cuts to break off the cuts with pliers. You'll need to make 2 crescent moons for this project. You'll also want to use your biggest drill bit to drill a hole in 2 of the circles. Then use a pencil to trace out how big you want the opening to be. Take those circles and now use your smallest drill bit to poke holes through the line that you just traced. Now use your needle nose pliers to try to break away the pieces of wood. For this next part, I used a rotary tool to smooth out the center, but sandpaper will work fine to create a smooth edge. You'll want the center to look something like this. Now I'm taking my smallest drill bit again to drill a hole so I can thread through my jump ring. Open the jump ring and thread it through the hole. You'll want to wait before closing the jump ring though, so for now leave it open until you are ready to attach it to the chain. Now using the old necklace, count off a number of links and detach it from the necklace. Because of the size, I started with 12 links and then increased by 2 for each pair. Once you have made all your chain links, use a jump ring and attach it to the top of each chain link. Again, you'll want to keep the jump ring open until you secure it to your large hanging chain. Now find the center of the chain and attach it to the full circle there. Make sure you lay out the wood slices in the correct order before attaching them to the chain. You'll need your needle nose pliers again to help you set and close the jump ring on the large chain. Once the middle piece is set, you'll want to space the rest of the pieces out evenly on the large chain. Best approach is to count out from the center and place each link at the same amount of distance from the others. Lastly, spray paint your desired color and then the piece is complete. I decided it would be better to kind of do a walkthrough in time with me. So the first DIY that we're going to be doing is a dream catcher. Now my daughter loves dream catchers. She's had dream catchers in her room for years. I just wanted to keep it up because I have a feeling she's going to be asking me about it anyways. So let's get into what we need for the supplies. So first off, we're definitely going to be using some yarn. I got these at Michael's. It was a great price, so I wanted to go with something thick to go around the circle itself. More yarn for the center, or you can use string. I decided to go with yarn though, just because it's what I had on hand. Glue gun, of course. These sticks And for the circle itself, I am actually going to use an embroidery hoop. So this is a centerpiece from my bridal party. And so I'm always of the mindset that if you have something that you're not using, try to find a way to reuse it. So instead of just throwing this out, I thought this would be a great way to reuse it. All right, so let's get into it. So we're going to start off with gluing the end to the embroidery hoop, and then every few wraps or so we're going to glue it again just to make sure that it stays put to where it is. So now that we're back at our start, we're going to go into the loops that we created. And web through. So I put some hot glue on there, and then I just created a finished edge. So I won't be needing this anymore, but I will be needing this. And I'm going to be cutting strips that are the same size just to make it easier. And I'm going to be looping it as you would macrame cord. So as you start off macrame cord. So I'm going to keep that in mind when I'm cutting my string. I'm going to place my ends together. I'm going to flip it over to the loop. I'm going to put the loop under, hold it open, thread through the end pieces, and then pull that down and through, and then adjust it where you want it. So our next DIY is pretty quick. I got one of these at my local hardware store. All you need to do is know how to make tassels. So for the most part, I'm just going to do this far away because I feel like you can kind of watch what I'm doing from there a little bit better. Using my yarn again. I'm going to be creating tassels. Let's start by wrapping my hand 20 times. So I actually ended up wrapping that 25 times instead. So I'm going to hold on to that real quick. So you want to pinch the top part, cut the string. I have excess string right here. You want to use it to tie it off at the top. So almost as if you're making a head. And where you're tying it, it's not going to be even. So it's going to be closer, the tie is going to be closer at the top. So it gives you a little bulb at the top, and the bottom is going to be a little bit longer. So then cut that. And now you're going to take the long end of it and you're going to cut all these loops that you have right there. And if you have some long ones, just kind of even it out. So I'm just going to cut off some excess here. We have 5 tassels right now. So now we're going to do pieces of string. So I'm going to tie this one piece that I cut to the wood. So before we thread the tassel through, we want to put the bead on. So because of the fact that I'm going to be using beads with this, I am going to be using hot glue to keep them in place where I am, because we're going to kind of create a V with beads. So I'm going to say right here, so I'm going to glue at the bottom of the bead and at the top of the bead. Alright, so now I'm going to thread it through. And I'm going to tie it. To do now is kind of tie something at the top so it can hang off of. But other than that, it's all set. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. If you want more content like this, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can actually see next week's reveal. I'm posting every week, so please feel free to check it out. Until then, see you later, guys. Bye.